The village was calm, its air filled with the scent of blooming jasmine and the whisper of a soft breeze. Under the venerable Bodhi tree, disciples gathered, their faces a blend of hope, curiosity, and the weight of life's burdens. The Buddha sat cross-legged, his form still as a mountain, his gaze like the expanse of the open sky. He reached beside him, lifting a simple bowl, and held it before the watchful eyes of his disciples. This bowl holds no water, no grains, no adornment. What, then, is its purpose? The Buddha asked gently. The disciples exchanged uncertain glances, their silence speaking of unspoken questions and the struggle to grasp his meaning. A young disciple, Anupama, ventured forth, her voice trembling yet eager. Master, the bowl can receive nourishment. The Buddha nodded faintly, his expression a blend of warmth and a challenge yet to unfold. Anupama speaks truth, he said. Its purpose lies not in what it contains but in its capacity to hold. Now, observe the emptiness, he continued, gesturing to the bowl. It does not mourn its void nor crave fullness. A ripple of confusion passed through the group, expressions ranging from curiosity to deep contemplation of his words. Master, Ananda began, his tone thoughtful. How can emptiness be a source of strength? Does not emptiness signify lack? The Buddha smiled, his gaze turning toward Ananda, embodying patience and the invitation to deeper understanding. Ananda, emptiness is freedom from burden, freedom from attachment to what is fleeting, impermanent, and heavy, he said. Imagine carrying a bowl filled to its brim. Each step risks spilling what you fear losing, the Buddha explained. Now, carry an empty bowl. Your stride is unburdened, your focus unhindered by fear or the need to grasp, he added. The disciples' murmurs quieted, their attention sharpening as the simplicity of his metaphor began to reveal its depth. The Buddha rose gracefully, his saffron robes flowing like the steady rhythm of a river. He walked slowly to a nearby stream, its waters singing a quiet symphony of timeless movement. The disciples followed, their footsteps forming a soft cadence against the earth, an echo of their shared curiosity. Reaching the stream, the Buddha knelt, dipping the bowl into the water and lifting it to show them. This bowl now holds the stream, yet the stream has lost nothing. What do you observe? He inquired. It mirrors the stream's flow, a disciple offered, his voice reverent, as if touched by the stream's timeless nature. Precisely, the Buddha said. The bowl holds the water without claim, without distortion, reflecting its essence without attachment. He poured the water back, the sound of its return a soft reminder of the impermanence of all things. Let this bowl teach you, he said. True confidence arises not from holding tightly but from embracing the flow of life. Master, said Dhananjaya, his voice hesitant but steady, is this why we struggle? Because we refuse to release our burdens? The Buddha turned to him, his eyes a depthless well of understanding and compassion. Yes, Dhananjaya, he said, to cling is to suffer. To release is to walk freely, unbound and unafraid. The leaves of the Bodhi tree swayed gently in the wind, as if echoing his words in their silent rhythm. But how do we release? Master? Asked Sujata, her voice edged with the struggle of a heavy heart. To release, one must first see clearly, the Buddha replied. See the nature of what you cling to without distortion. If you hold on to pain, ask yourself, what does this pain teach? If you hold on to joy, ask, what is its root? Through understanding, the weight transforms through awareness. The need to grasp dissipates, the Buddha said. The disciples sat by the stream, their reflections mingling with its currents, their thoughts a silent ripple of introspection. As the day waned, the Buddha gestured toward the horizon, where the sky began its transition to twilight. Each day moves toward emptiness, from fullness to the quiet of night. Yet, Nothing is lost, he said. This cycle is life's rhythm. To align with it is to find peace and purpose, he added. The light softened, the air growing still, as if the world itself paused to absorb the gravity of his words. The Buddha continued, confidence is not built on what you have but on your ability to flow with impermanence. To embrace emptiness is to embrace the essence of the bowl unburdened. Adaptable and free, he concluded. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts heavy with thought yet lighter in spirit. As the teachings began to take root, returning to the Bodhi tree, they sat in silence, the evening enveloping them in its quiet wisdom. The Buddha rested beneath the tree's ancient branches, a figure of stillness amid the ever-changing world. His voice, soft yet unwavering, broke the silence one final time. Remember, to walk the path is to carry an empty bowl. Receptive yet unbound, the disciples held his words close, their silence a testament to the awakening stirring within them. The night deepened, the stars witnessing the quiet transformation of hearts seeking truth. Another day, another path stretched endlessly before the Buddha and his disciples. Shaded by the canopy of an untamed forest, the air was thick with the scent of earth and foliage, mingling with the faint whispers of hidden creatures. The disciples followed closely, their eyes scanning the unmarked terrain, their minds restless with doubt and unease. The Buddha's pace was steady, his presence serene as if the forest had parted its secrets to him alone. Master, where does this path lead? Anupama asked, her voice wavering like a leaf caught in a swirling wind. The Buddha stopped, turning toward her, his gaze soft yet profound, as if seeing beyond her question to its root. Anupama, does the path ahead trouble you? Or is it your inability to see its end? He asked gently. She hesitated, unsure whether her answer could unravel the gnawing uncertainty she felt within. Master, I fear walking without direction. Without knowing what lies ahead, Anupama admitted, her voice tinged with vulnerability. The Buddha knelt, placing his palm on the earth, as if grounding her words in the wisdom of the forest. The forest does not ask you to know its entirety, only to walk without hesitation, he said with quiet clarity. Confidence is not born from certainty but from trust in each stride. Unshaken by the unseen, he continued. Sujata, her brows furrowed, interjected, but Master, how do we trust what we cannot see? The Buddha smiled, his calm like the whisper of the wind threading through the trees. Trust comes not from vision but from alignment with purpose. A stride that seeks not answers but meaning, he replied. He reached for a fallen twig, holding it up for all to see. Observe its nature, he instructed them. The twig was dry, brittle, and seemingly insignificant, yet the disciples leaned closer. Their curiosity piqued. This twig once thrived, nourished by its roots, yet now it rests, returning to the soil it once drew life from, he said. It trusts in its purpose, neither lamenting its end nor questioning its journey, the Buddha explained. The disciples exchanged glances, their thoughts stirring with the challenge of applying such simplicity to their struggles. Ananda stepped forward, his voice steady with reflection. Master, are we like the twig, with purpose beyond our understanding? The Buddha nodded faintly. Yes, Ananda, purpose is not always revealed but is lived through each step we take. Even if the end remains hidden, trust the stride beneath your feet to guide you, he said. His voice unwavering, the disciples continued walking, their steps lighter, their thoughts unraveling like vines reaching toward the sun. The forest thickened, its shadows growing deeper, its silence louder, as if testing their resolve. They reached a clearing where the sunlight poured through, casting warmth and clarity amid the forest's mystery. The Buddha sat upon the earth, his figure as tranquil as the still waters of an untouched pond. Let this clearing teach you, he began, gesturing to the light, It exists not despite the shadows but because of them. Confidence grows in the contrast. In accepting both light and shadow as integral to the journey, he continued. A disciple named Devadatta, his voice carrying the weight of resistance, questioned, "Master, can confidence endure failure?" The Buddha's gaze rested on Devadatta, his silence stretching, inviting the disciple to reflect before receiving an answer. "Devadatta," he began, "confidence does not falter when you fall. It rises in your willingness to stand again. The shadows of failure do not negate the light. They reveal the contours of a path worth walking," he said. Devadatta lowered his head, his heart wrestling with the humility the forest seemed to echo. "Master," Sujata said again, her voice carrying an edge of urgency. "But what if the path leads to nowhere?" The Buddha held her gaze, his expression a balance of compassion and the sharpness of truth. "Nowhere is but a concept shaped by fear. Every step creates meaning, even if its end remains unseen," he answered. The disciples sat in the clearing, the sun shifting as the day stretched toward twilight, their hearts heavy with thought. The Buddha gestured toward the path ahead, its twists and turns disappearing into the forest's depths. "Let us walk again, unbound by the need to see. Let the stride itself reveal its meaning," he said. The disciples rose, their spirits challenged yet moved by the clarity his teachings offered. They walked until the night cloaked the forest, their silence blending with the hum of nocturnal creatures. The Buddha lit a small lantern, its glow soft yet enough to illuminate their steps. "Let the light of trust guide you. Not to the end but through each moment," he said. The disciples followed, their doubts receding like the shadows of the forest, replaced by the quiet confidence of purpose. Another day, another journey brought the Buddha and his disciples to the banks of a mighty, shimmering river. The sun cast its golden light over the surface, painting ripples of brilliance that danced like fleeting moments in time. The disciples stood silent, entranced by the river's beauty, yet mindful of the lessons that lay hidden within. The Buddha approached the water's edge, his steps deliberate, as if in silent conversation with the flowing currents. He turned to the disciples, his gaze reflecting both stillness and the unyielding motion of the river before them. "This river flows without resistance, bending with the land, adapting to obstacles. What, then, do you see in its nature?" Sujata spoke first, her voice careful but curious. "Master, the river follows its course, unhesitant, despite its ever-changing path." The Buddha nodded, lifting his hand to indicate the currents, which curved gently around stones and bends. "Indeed, Sujata," he said, "its confidence does not lie in rigidity, but in embracing change without losing its essence." Another disciple, Anupama, ventured forward. "Master, does the river not tire of its journey? Its course seems endless, without rest or destination." The Buddha's smile was soft, like the river's lull, unburdened by the weight of Anupama's question. "The river does not seek rest, nor does it lament its endless flow. Its purpose is fulfilled in its journey," he explained. Ananda, his gaze lingering on the reflections, asked, "Master, what if the river is blocked? What, then, becomes of its purpose?" The Buddha knelt beside the water, scooping a handful and letting it fall back, each drop merging effortlessly. When obstructed, the river finds new paths, carves its way, or rises beyond the barriers. "Its purpose does not falter," he said. "The river teaches us this confidence does not crumble in the face of obstacles. It adapts, flows, and perseveres," he continued. Devadatta, ever thoughtful yet skeptical, stepped closer. "Master, does the river not risk losing itself if it bends too much?" The Buddha looked to the horizon, where the river disappeared into a distant union with the vast, boundless sea. "Devadatta, the river's essence is not lost in its bends. It fulfills itself by reaching the ocean. Its ultimate source, he said. The bends shape its journey, but the ocean gives meaning to its flow. Such is the nature of purpose, he added. The disciples listened, their reflections shimmering in the river's surface, their hearts grappling with the depth of his words. The Buddha sat upon a smooth stone, his voice merging with the gentle hum of the water's endless song. This river mirrors life's journey. To resist change is to dam the flow. To embrace it is to move freely, he said. Master, Sujata asked again, her voice thoughtful. How can we flow when our hearts are heavy with doubt and fear? The Buddha gestured to the river's reflection. Look into the water. It holds the sky and the trees. Yet it clings to nothing. When you carry doubt, ask if it serves your stride. When you carry fear, ask if it strengthens your flow, he explained. Releasing heaviness is not erasing it but letting it find its place. Like the river flows around a stone, he continued. The sunlight shifted, painting the water with hues of orange and gold, as if the day itself bore witness to the teaching. A child from a nearby village approached, carrying a small jar, her eyes wide with curiosity and innocence. The Buddha smiled warmly, inviting her closer with a gesture that bridged her hesitance. What do you carry, child? He asked, his voice gentle, like the breeze grazing the river's surface. My jar, she answered softly, to catch the river, so I may carry it home. The disciples watched, intrigued, as the Buddha's gaze lingered on the jar, a vessel both fragile and deliberate. Child, he said, what will you do when the water no longer flows in your jar? The girl tilted her head, pondering his question, her brow furrowing with the earnestness only youth can offer. Then I will come back to the river, she said simply. Her words carrying an innocence the disciples found humbling. The Buddha's laughter was soft, a sound that carried neither judgment nor mirth but pure appreciation for her truth. You have answered wisely, he said. The jar holds the river for a time, but the river's source is eternal. The child bowed, her small hands clutching the jar, and walked away, her steps light and filled with newfound wonder. The disciples sat in silence, the simplicity of the child's exchange stirring questions they had not dared to ask themselves. The Buddha addressed them, his voice steady and full of quiet assurance. Like the jar, our forms carry life for a moment. Yet, the source from which we draw is infinite, he said. To live is to flow, to shape and be shaped, without fear of losing what was never truly separate, he continued. The disciples meditated on his words, the river's murmurs weaving through their thoughts, a melody of endless transformation. The sun dipped lower, the horizon cradling its descent. As the day surrendered to the encroaching embrace of night, the Buddha rose, his silhouette framed by the dusk, a figure both rooted and transient, like the river itself. Remember this, he said, his voice carrying the weight of timeless truth. Confidence is not the absence of change but its embrace. To flow, to adapt, to rise. This is the way of the river. And this is the way of life, he concluded. The disciples bowed deeply, their hearts awash with the serenity and strength that only true understanding could bring. As the stars emerged, scattered like blessings across the sky, they walked with the Buddha, following the river's call. The night enveloped them, the river's song their guide, their steps a testament to the teachings they carried within. This flower blooms amidst adversity, he said. Its beauty arises not from isolation but from harmony with its environment. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.